Hi, welcome to SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are doing a Super Bowl 48 betting odds preview right now with Troy West from allplayswin.com. And Troy West, if you're not already familiar with him, great record in the NFL with us this year, 32-24 against the spread in 56 NFL previews with us, and that's a great record. And I know he had a good record at his site as well this year. Troy, thanks for being back with us.
Hey, thanks a lot, Pete. What a great way to wrap up the season with some fun prop bets. Seattle team that obviously I follow very closely, so I think we have some value here with some of their team prop bets. But encourage viewers to come check out the site, allplayswin.com, 24/7 customer service. You don't get that with many handicapping services, and we'll have some other prop bets besides the ones just we're giving on these videos.
Okay, sounds great. But these prop bets aren't for fun. This is, I mean, I guess if you consider making money fun, which certainly I do, but we're looking for value here, Troy. You think we got some?
I think we do, Pete. I think, like you said earlier and mentioned in the other videos, there's some serious value in these prop bets, maybe more so than the total and even the side, because I think Vegas a lot of times throws these figures out because they don't think they're going to get a whole lot of hefty wagers on it. But there's some value in these props, man. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I've been covering Super Bowl props for many years here at SBR Videos, and one thing I've always told our viewers is that professional prop bettors sometimes have their entire bankroll tied up in Super Bowl props on Super Bowl Sunday. Of course, they're all hedged out so that they're protected, they won't lose everything. But yeah, there's definitely unquestioned value with Super Bowl props every year. And of course, getting the best line is of paramount importance. And SBR has a Super Bowl prop odds comparison chart at Sportsbook Review, which is very, very handy, essential to getting the best odds. They compare the odds from many different books on all these Super Bowl props. All right, right now we're going to discuss Seattle Seahawks team props. So we've got a bunch of them here. They're all from Pinnacle, and we're going to be quoting Pinnacle odds in this video. Troy West, what Seattle Seahawks team props have caught your eyes, maybe having some value for us?
This one I think has a lot of value, Pete, was over 1.5 sacks. I know everybody says how good Peyton Manning is at getting the ball out. Sure, but the guy can be sacked. There's going to be times where his receiving, and you got to remember, Pete, coverage sacks are huge. Seattle secondary, we've spoken on it numerous times. They're very, very good. I think there's going to be times, at least 2 or 3 times throughout the football game, where Peyton Manning's got to eat it, tuck the ball, and take a sack. Seattle has so many different guys that can get to the quarterback. Cliff Averill, Bennett, Bruce Irvin. They've got plenty of guys that get to the quarterback. I think Peyton Manning goes down at least twice. Over 1.5 sacks is one of my favorite ones that I circled on Seattle's prop bets.
The Seahawks, though, they only got 1 sack against the Saints, though. What about that?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Drew Brees came in, and you got to remember this was his second time going against this defense. So, he had a really rough go-around his first time, so I think he was a little bit more prepared the second go-around. But I just think, God, 1.5 sacks, Peyton Manning will go down. Covered sacks are huge, and I think in this Pro Bowl game, there are going to be times where Peyton Manning has not seen his secondary this good. And a good pass rush, Pete. They got a lot of quick guys that come around the end. Manning will go down at least twice. And you saw guys like Colin Kaepernick, who are great at avoiding the rush, still go down several times. So, again, I know a lot of people are saying, he gets the ball out so quick. Not every single throw is getting out under 3 seconds. Manning goes down at least twice in this football game.
All right, well, there's a bunch of props that I want to get your take on. Before we get into them, are there any others that you want to discuss?
Pete, you'll have to give me the exact line on this one, but I thought it was really interesting because at worst, I think you push on this one, was the amount of guys that will carry the ball for Seattle. I think will definitely be under 4. At best, you're going to see Percy Harvin carry the ball. You're going to see Turbin carry the ball. You'll see Wilson carry it, and you'll see Lynch carry it. But those are the 4 guys that have carried it all season long. I can't see them putting in a third-string running back to carry the football. I can't see them doing something end-around crazy play with another guy. So I think at best you push. Harvin may not carry the ball. Turbin may not carry the ball, so an under could be a safe bet.
Right. There's a few other props that I want to get your take on, kind of like props that you'll probably pretty controversial props. There might not be some value there. There is one, though. I don't know if you looked into this, but I think this one might have some value. Will the Seahawks score in all 4 quarters? The yes is plus 254. The no is minus 310. But at minus 310, that's a 75.6% chance. And, the Seahawks did score in all 4 quarters in 5 of their 16 regular season games, but they didn't do it in either of their playoff games. And, there tends to be a lot of conservative play in the Super Bowl. Last year, both of the Super Bowl teams did score in all 4 quarters, but before that, neither of the teams did in the past 6 Super Bowls. I'm thinking that the no, even at minus 310, might be worth a shot. What do you think? I mean, Seattle, they don't have an explosive offense. It might be very efficient, it might be very effective, but it's not the kind of offense that's going to be, threatened to score every possession.
You make good points, Pete, but man, I would probably stay away. I think you have more value with the yes, to be honest with you. You got
Really?
to remember, Seattle has been going against top 5 defenses week in and week out. Denver's defense, to my knowledge, is 19th. This is going to be a breath of fresh air. A couple big plays, a big run. They're in field goal range before you know it. I would not be surprised. I think Seattle's going to get into the 20s in this game, Pete. I really do. I'd be shocked if they were held under 20. I think they'll get into the 20s. Will it happen over the course of 4 quarters? I think it's a very good possibility. So I would stay away. I think 310 is a hefty penny to be putting down and saying no. Denver's defense hasn't really seen a smash mouth football team in the last few games. So I think they're going to have their eyes open. You got to remember, scrambling quarterback, another thing that Denver hasn't seen a whole lot this year.
All right, well, it seems like you're liking, the pro Seattle side of any prop. Let's get your take on this one. Total number of touchdowns scored by the Seahawks. Currently, it's 2.5, and that's an even line. It's minus 108 on the over, minus 108 on the under at Pinnacle. And, the Seahawks scored 2 touchdowns in each of their playoff games. Denver has given up 2 touchdowns in each of their playoff games. Is there any reason to think that Seattle is more likely than not to score 3 here?
I think they got to score 3, especially if they're going to have any shot at winning this football game. As I've said before, Pete, they've gone up against the gauntlet. The Saints had a phenomenal defense. The Cardinals finishing off the regular season, great defense. Even every opponent in that division, the Rams, the Cardinals, the 49ers, all good defenses. 49ers, one of the best in the NFL. They've done a great job against these defenses. I think it's truly going to be a breath of fresh air going against this Denver defense. You got to remember, going into the season, Pete, Von Miller, Chris Harris, 2 of Denver's big factors on defense, will not be playing in this football game. I know they've gone without him now for a couple weeks, but I think it pays dividend. I think Seattle's got to get 3. I think they will get 3 touchdowns in this game, Pete.
All right, well, here's a prop that is the side I'm leaning towards is pro Seattle, so I'm assuming that you're going to like this one as well. Will the Seahawks have a rushing touchdown in the game? Right now, the yes is minus 195, the no is plus 165, and at minus 195, you're breaking even at 66%. Seattle's had a rushing touchdown in both their playoff games, and in the regular season, they had a rushing touchdown in 11 of their 16 games. That's 69%. So I think there's probably at least small value with the over at minus 195. What do you think?
Sure, I would agree with you 100% on that one. Is if this team gets into the red zone, which you've got to think they will, I truly believe that they will use Wilson's legs. Lynch may even use Percy Harvin down in that territory. I don't think they're going to take the chances on. They don't have the type of receivers to run the fade ball to. I think it's going to be a safe bet if they get inside the 10-yard line. You got to think Lynch is carrying the ball 3 times. I like yes, absolutely. If they don't get a rushing touchdown, it could be a long game for Seattle. So,
well, it seems like you're thinking that there's going to be a lot of rushing for Seahawks. You like the Russell Wilson rushing yards over prop. You like the rushing touchdown prop, and you're even willing a little bit to consider the under prop for Russell Wilson passing yards. So does that mean that, can I extrapolate that you think that the over 132.5 rushing yards for Seattle might be something you like as well?
Yeah, I think it could be a safe bet, Pete, because now with Percy Harvin back, the guy's going to be good for maybe 3 or 4 carries. You saw what he did against the New Orleans Saints. They've already said they've implemented him into the offensive game plan. He's going to be a factor. He had that one end around against the Saints that was good for 15 yards. Lynch has been a beast all season long. I know he had some hiccups throughout the course of the year, but against one of the 49ers' best rushing defenses in the NFL, he was able to crack dang near 100. So with Wilson running, Harvin running, I think with Lynch, the way he's going to carries, he's going to get the ball. Boy, I would think they could get 132. Again, if not, long game for Seattle, but over 132, I think could be a safe bet here.
Okay, awesome call. Troy West from allplayswin.com. I think you've given us a lot of things to think about and maybe a bunch of nice prop bets to tail. Thanks so much, Troy.